What's going on, guys? It's another beautiful day. As you can see, I'm not on my property again. So we're here with
Jeremy and Cassandra.
And they have a channel on YouTube called SeMoJo.
SeMoJo Homestead.
SeMoJo Homestead. Of course, the link will be in the bottom. They are literally a hop, skip, and a jump away from my property. You just don't know what's around you until you start talking about it, and then you find out, you know, oh, you do this also.
Yeah.
So that kind of happened, and before I even announced doing this, we kind of met on Facebook.
Yeah.
And then some of the groups, and then, like I said, come to find out, they're just right down the road. It's amazing how much you don't know.
Yeah.
What's around you until you start traveling.
Yeah.
Like I would have no reason to come back here.
Well, this thing with this area too is so many back roads.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes I'll just take an extra turn just to say, hey, what's down that road?
Yeah.
And it is. It's
and
like
then
so
somebody
much
comes
stuff
out
back
with
here.
a shotgun.
Yeah. And then you're like,
It's okay. I was just,
I'm just turning around.
just looking around.
So what brought you to this area? Not just South Carolina, but Lexington, Gilbert area.
yeah, so Lexington, Gilbert area. I got here by taking a job back in 2004.
24.
Yeah, right.
Over 100
Been here a
years.
long time. 2004, and just kind of ended up here because of that. There wasn't really anything else. My aunt lived here, but that was really the only connection in Lexington. And then we kind of started put down our roots in Lexington, and then decided about 9 years ago to start looking for land. Wanted more land. Found this, bought this about 8 years ago. Not doing my math, but I think it was about 8 years ago. And just sort of waited until, like, trying to save money and, you know, trying to take it slow, figuring out what we wanted to clear to build on, because this was all just woods. It was raw land.
You grew up in the upstate of South Carolina, right?
I did, yeah, in Greenwood.
Now, were you born and raised up there, or were you somewhere?
I was actually born in Irmo.
Okay.
But then they moved. My parents moved when I was 2, so I don't remember any of that.
Gotcha.
Greenwood, yeah, what I consider my whole life.
But then you found California.
This beauty, I found California.
He talked you into moving to South Carolina.
Yes. Yes. I was, we met in college, and then I was living in Atlanta with my roommate because I was dating him. I wasn't going to go back to California. We got engaged, and he already had the job here, and I was an education major, so I could go wherever. So I came here and taught at Hollywood Elementary in Saluda.
Okay, I know what it is.
And then we had children. I felt like I always wanted to homeschool, so I stayed home.
So tell us about your culture shock from, you said you were from the upstate of California.
Yes.
What was your biggest culture shock whenever you moved to South Carolina?
My first experience with the South was North Carolina. And walking to tour my campus, and even walking downtown Wilson, North Carolina, and people like waving at me, smiling at me, calling me sugar.
Yeah.
I was like, who are these people, and why is everyone like, is it that obvious that I'm from out of town? Like, what's going on?
My favorite thing to do is whenever we're driving, and my wife, she laughs at me. Secretly in her head, she's like, what an idiot. Anytime I'm driving, getting to a slow point, I'll just wave.
Yeah.
The 2-finger.
Yeah.
Right.
And I love it when people wave back. Or like sometimes if I really want to embarrass her, that whole arm goes out the window. We're just driving. I'm like, and I love beep beep. Like, they don't know who you are, but in their head they're thinking, do I know that?
It's so weird to me. Like, it's just, I do it now. I wave to like people as I'm passing them on the dirt road, but I don't know. I don't know. It's just different.
Being in the South and things, like, we are very nice, and I've said it in some other videos, but that's just how we are. Let's look at the animals.
Chickens, rabbits.
Everything's pretty much right here.
Cow.
So yes.
Hold up. First off, how many acres are you on?
Okay. We are on 5 acres, but we've really only cleared
About an acre.
Yeah.
About an acre. My wife told me I couldn't get a cow
Oh.
because we don't have enough acreage. Oh, this is gonna be good. Let's go see the cow. Here with Chuck.
Yes.
He's a little shy, and they just explained because he's been chased around a little bit. So
Yeah.
we're gonna let him ease into us. So tell us about Chuck. Chuck's a rescue, you said?
Yes, so we got a phone call. Jeremy's family, they're friends with a cattle broker, and one of their clients came home from a week in Daytona and found his mom dead, and he was really not doing well. It was clear that no other cow had adopted him at all, and he had had no food, so he was really tiny and really just not well off.
He was about 3 weeks old when
Yeah.
this happened. So
Yeah,
What kind of cow is Chuck?
he's a Gelbvieh.
there you go.
And
I always say
yeah.
it wrong. So
Yeah. So he's Gelbvieh is a dual breed. Obviously he's a male, so he's our beef cow. He is not a permanent resident. We've had some Clemson Extension people come out because we were concerned about his growth. They said it's probably just because he's stunted, because he was a rescue. So they've given us some information on grain and stuff that we can give him to help kind of boost him back up. Are you eating my hair?
So he will always be
obviously-
stunted.
Yeah, so obviously he's not going to be on pasture. So what kind of, like,
No.
what kind of stuff do you feed him?
So we do have to buy hay to give
Yes.
him. So we do. He's on coastal, and then the grains also.
Uh-oh, he just opened his door. He will go for a walk, so you wanna keep
Let's
that.
not go for a walk today,
Yeah.
Chuck.
Yeah.
This is Daisy.
Yes.
She's a cutie.
She's we had
Slobbery.
8 babies and she was the only girl. So she's a permanent
Oh.
resident. She'll be a milk girl. So, but I give him, it's 70% alfalfa pellets and then a mixture of wheat bran, oats, corn that's been ground down, and I think that's it.
I think that's it.
And then it just soaks in water to get those alfalfa pellets down
Okay.
into a mush.
Yeah.
And then he gets a couple cups of that a day.
Let me look at you, Chuck.
Yeah. He's so sweet.
All right, that's it. Chastity, I know you don't watch my videos, but I'm going to tell you when we get home that we're going to get us a Chuck.
There you go.
That's why I want to get I just found out that in South Carolina, we can own a kangaroo without a permit.
You posted that.
I did.
I saw that.
Yeah, I think I'm going to get a kangaroo.
We need to tell Jason about that at
We
GoDaddy Farm,
do.
'cause
We
he would get one.
do. Yeah, he would. He would totally get one. So that's how we ended up with a cow. We always said we'd never have a cow.
Mm-hmm.
But when we got that phone call, we were working in the garden and
Well, you give that person my number. You tell them
Yes.
there needs to be
Yeah.
another one.
It's a rescue.
it's
Yeah.
a rescue.
She can't give up on you can't pass up on a rescue.
Right.
I know
right.
that was the only reason we said yes to this.
Yeah,
So
yeah. But
yeah.
now I think we're sold. I think
we'll do a cow every year.
Yeah.
For sure.
Hey, girl.
So what kind of goats do you have here?
We have Nigerian dwarfs. We actually bought them from Jason at GoDaddy's farm. This is Esther. She's probably my favorite. She's our most
She
friendly.
is the sweetest by
She
far.
is the sweetest.
How old are they?
I think this is Emily Rose, so she's the mom. I think she's 6 years old.
Okay.
And then Esther is only 3 or 4.
Yes, 3.
3. Oh,
Yeah,
there.
I'm gonna have to build one of these little areas
Yeah.
for mine.
What's this?
Yeah. What is this?
They are. That's one thing that probably surprised me the most about goats is how curious they are.
Yeah.
As much of a prey animal and skittish as they are, like they are
Yep,
still
there it is.
so
Yeah. Yeah.
curious.
Just rub her head.
Yep. Loves to be scratched.
You on camera?
Emily Rose was really skittish when we first got her. She would not come to Jason. She wouldn't come to us. And so I would come out every day when I'm working around the farm, I wear scrubs and I'd have grain in my pocket and she would see the other ones eating out of my hand. And eventually she came over to us, but that's pretty much how she was. And now she'll come over to me and she'll let me rub on her. But it took a long time for her to get used to us.
What made y'all choose a Nigerian dwarf?
Honestly, watching YouTube channels and seeing the different types of goats and really their personality and the milk fat content.
Yeah, the quality of milk is kind of the final determining
That's what
Yeah.
we had talked to the goat daddies, and
Yeah.
that's how we decided on Nigerians. Now theirs are mixed, because they were what he told me they liked the milk fat content from them, but the amount they got from the
Right.
Nubians.
yeah,
Nubians.
And we are
Yeah,
getting
we are getting
a
a mini Nubian.
yes from them. So
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
that'll be a new experience.
But we
Yeah.
decided that because they're not going to produce a gallon, they'll produce like a half gallon. That's probably best for us
Right.
starting out because we
Right.
don't want to have too much milk and not know what to do with it. Or
Right.
Right.
it's good to
Yeah.
start slow.
Yep.
Always start slow.
Yeah.
Even though it's fun to just
Yes.
jump into
Yes,
it.
it is. You start slow.
Start
yeah.
slow. So you'll hear us talking about Goat Daddy's Farm often.
Yes.
So I'm going to put a link to them in the description as well. It's an awesome farm. I can't think of where they're located.
Elgin.
Yeah, Elgin. It's a great place. You can look them up on Facebook, look them up on the website. They have open farms as well where you can come in. You can get pork from them. You can get all kinds of different things. Goat cheese, milk. Come out there and pet the animals, see the animals. You can take pictures. It was a great time when
Yes.
we went.
Yes. Yeah.
And so I would definitely recommend looking them up if you're in this area or in South Carolina and visit them because it's a really neat place and they'll help you out and give you a lot of information that you need.
Yeah.
'Cause-
And they're
They're
a
great.
commercial, like full-on commercial operation too.
Yeah,
So,
they're grade A goat dairy. So,
Okay, so I see some chickens.
yes,
Yes.
we have chickens.
I know a lot of people know a lot about chickens, but let's go see the chickens.
Okay.
Let's go see. So we started out with like more like breeds, and I don't even remember what they were. We got
Barred rock.
Barred Rock. We still have one of those.
And then
We had 2 Easter eggers. We've lost both of those.
What in the world is that thing?
this is a golden.
A golden turkey?
This is the vulture.
She got attacked, and we had to nurse her back to health with yogurt, and her
Yeah, it was a
neck
whole
was
process.
Yeah.
was skinned basically. So
So she was in the first like round of them.
Yeah.
And I mean so chickens, like everybody else, a lot of times were like our first experience with something
Livestock.
outside of dogs.
Yeah.
And so it was one of those things where I think every single day, at least once, for probably 2 weeks, we would look at each other and say, we just need to like put her down. Like she's just not gonna survive.
Yeah.
But I couldn't do it. She wasn't gonna do it.
Yeah.
And so we just continually milked her back to health, and she actually like, I mean, not to be too graphic, but skin grew back, and she never got feathers, but
That actually happened to one of our chickens. Well, it didn't get attacked, but Kuna, for y'all who watch my channel, you know who Kuna is. She just hatched 2 ducks. When we first moved to our property, something happened to her, and her legs quit working. I called her before she went, paralyzed.
Yeah.
I called her, what did I call her? Zoe, where you at?
that's what kids are for, right?
yeah, right.
Remember all your animal
Yeah,
names.
yeah.
It was like, it was something off the Flash. I think it was Godspeed.
Okay.
Because Godspeed in the Flash, the DC universe, was white and very fast, like speedster. But then she went paralyzed, and so for a long time we're just babying her and doing stuff. The day I told my wife, I was like, "Listen, I'm gonna put her down." I said, "We can't keep doing this." She started walking.
Actually had a problem with some eggs. Some chickens weren't hatching them really well. So we went to Tractor Supply and we wanted some color in our eggs. So we got an olive egger and an Easter egger, and they were like 5 days old, but at night we stuck them under the chicken, and she is raising them. So this is one of them that we got from Tractor Supply, and Mom's doing great with them.
Oh, we got a bunny. You want one?
No. Because you know
taste
what? You said the words, and you said they're meat rabbits.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And if I bring that
You can't
rabbit
have that.
home, it'll be inside. I have to prep my children.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of like, hey, they're gonna be like, Daddy, what are you building? I'm like, this is a meat hutch
Yeah.
for rabbits,
Yes.
so that they know
No, Daddy, no.
that we're gonna grow rabbit meat.
Yes.
So that's what we did, and so so our youngest daughter, middle child, has always wanted a rabbit. She would bug us, and I was like, no, like we're not having. So we do have a rule out here, like we don't have pets. Everything that we bring onto the homestead has to serve a purpose.
Right.
It was just like, and it was, I mean, Cass and all of them were like, nah, it's a pet, it's a pet, it's a pet. Well, I don't remember what finally pushed you over the edge. I think it may have been
it was
COVID.
COVID.
I think it was COVID.
I mean, we were-
and we were
yeah.
like, okay, well, we'll do them and stick with our rules. So they had to have a purpose. So meat rabbit. So we talked to the girls about it, talked to our kids about it,
we did have the conversation before we purchased them.
Right.
Yeah.
So they knew that.
Right. And
Going
so, but the deal was, the ones that we get, and we let them pick them out. You pick them out, they're gonna be mama and daddy. They'll always be here. You know, like we're not gonna take them. It'll only be the babies.
Yeah.
And just really being upfront with them and telling them and making sure they understood that and giving them a realistic expectation. They were like excited about it, but said, don't want to know when you do it. Don't want to be home.
Right.
Just do it. Don't tell us.
And I blame my children, but I'm going to put some blame on myself. But if you, like, there's no possible way that this man right here is going to hurt this thing. And that's why I'm not going to get rabbits, because it'll be a pet.
Girls were like, but they're so cute. And I'm like, you know what? They grow up and they're not cute anymore.
No, they're still cute.
And
That's my problem.
Yeah.
Perfect.
so, but now we are, like, we did kind of decide this year, because they're more financially beneficial for us if we can sell the babies, because we sell them for more than what we'd buy
Meat for.
protein for
Right.
one meal. So we are selling them, and anything that's left, we will harvest that from that. But if we sell them all, then we sell them all.
They'll be ready
So-
by Christmas. We planned that.
So this will
they
be the
could
only ones that you sell? That's going to be your new...
That'll
I
just
think
be...
that's kind of what we're
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, that's...
So,
Um,
I mean, we all like it. It is, I mean, it's a lot of work for a little bit of meat, but,
Yeah.
you
That's
know,
why I don't duck hunt.
Yeah.
I mean, I do.
She wants quail, and I'm like, I just,
Yeah.
no,
But like,
no.
I can go sit in a deer stand and shoot a good 200-pound, deer.
Yeah.
But if I gotta stand in some freezing cold water and hope I am able to shoot a duck that just flying by at 80 miles an hour, I'm like, it's fun. Sure, yeah, it's fun, but
Yes.
it's just I'm not gonna stop deer hunting so I can duck hunt.
The
Exactly.
one thing I will say though is when we told the girls that we were gonna just sell this kit, my oldest was very upset. She loves the meat
Yes.
and wanted to have access to it, and so I think we will probably process a couple, here and there for
Well,
her.
that's amazing that she
But-
loves the meat.
Yeah.
That's good.
yeah.
Nope.
Oh.
Nope. Nope.
There's the cuteness for the camera.
See, that's it. No rabbits. It yawned at me. Nope.
Hey, so this is a birthday present for me, and I am obsessed with these things. I
Yep.
know that your viewers have seen you talk about yours, and
Which was my wife's. I believe it was my wife's Mother's Day present, but it
Really?
was more for me.
cauliflower at the bottom, and then lettuces, and yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So, in
So-
mine, I planted collard greens, and so
I saw that.
Yeah.
it's actually doing pretty well.
That's
And then I forgot I planted two. So as soon as I harvest my big one, by the time the other one gets big enough to be,
Yeah.
And you
time
have
for-
cabbage in there too, right?
yeah. We'll
How
see
is that doing in there?
It's doing great.
As far as like heading up
Yeah.
and like,
Honestly, to tell you the truth, everything I've planted in my green stock is doing amazing.
That's awesome.
I just got a comment from a subscriber talking about like they've had issues growing carrots, and I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I literally just put the seeds in and they boop,
Yeah.
in my green stock. So I don't know. It's
Yeah.
Everything has been doing amazing. I'm not sure if it's how the water situation is, or because I just use organic potting soil.
potting soil. Yeah,
and,
it's pretty much what
it's-
we did.
It's
and
done amazing.
So probably one of my favorite areas out here. So yeah, we did cold frames, which we haven't really been using them as cold frames. They're more raised beds now. So we do a lot of our root vegetables in there just because it's easier to get looser soil. Right now there's rutabaga, carrots, onions, radishes. Over winter, our peppers. Did a video on that, and we just put them in here, basically straw bales. We have these old windows, we just lay them on top, and I literally have to water them maybe twice through the entire winter.
So did
And
you
it's just like this greenhouse
Did you
thing.
steal these from my house?
Maybe,
Because they look like what came out of my house.
you know,
I mean,
No.
exact windows.
homesteaders, you
before we-
take what you find, right?
Before we took them out and put energy efficient windows in
Yeah,
there, that's
yeah.
exactly what my house windows look like. That is the homestead way: is to get free stuff.
Oh yeah. For
Yes.
sure.
You have to.
You cannot be afraid to ask.
No,
if you
you
see it, like, one man's trash is another man's treasure.
So
it's
you're
a
gonna-
homesteader's treasure.
Are you gonna plant in the hay bales the more they break down, or what are you gonna do with that?
I don't. I mean, we haven't done it a lot. Like I've tried it once. My parents tried it once, and both times it was a failure. I don't know how people do it.
Yeah, I bought the book on how to do it, and so I'm going to. That's my whole big experience is now.
I've seen it
starting out,
successfully done.
I'm going to experiment with whatever I can
Yeah.
to see like what works best for me, and that's the big reason for what I'm doing the tour is to learn from like what y'all have going on, what other people have going on, so that I can learn, or so that I can experiment with what I want to and figure out what works best for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this just gets, once we're done with it and start hitting the spring, I mean, it will be starting to break down and stuff, but it's usually what goes into like the chicken house for the bedding and everything else. So
what kind of peppers do you have in here?
ooh, purple sparkle, purple
Bell.
bell, several different types of bell, cayenne, jalapeno, jalapenos.
What is a jalapeno?
It's
No,
a-
we don't have jalapenos.
Oh, we don't. We have habanadas.
Habanadas. It is a sweet habanero.
They're good.
We just grew them for the first time this year. I'm addicted.
Yeah?
They are amazing.
They
That
are
sounds
so
amazing.
I'm gonna have to get. Yep, I'm gonna have to write some
So-
things down.
And since we're talking about peppers, I have a gift for you.
Oh, well,
I saw one of your videos where you talk about how much you like cooking,
Yeah.
but you don't make your own spices.
Right.
You just go buy them, and it just hurt my homesteading heart. So you have chili powder
All right.
from our peppers, cayenne pepper, and then chipotle powder.
Now, okay. So speaking of Chipotle, we were just in the back, and I'm a cooker. Well, his grill's going, and I said, "What are you smoking back there?" I was thinking it's gonna be meat. And he's like, "Chipotle."
Yeah.
So is this what you're?
Yeah.
back
This
there
is
smoking?
it. So basically, all chipotle is a ripened jalapeno, so a red jalapeno, smoked. That's it.
You know what? Anything smoked.
It sounds really fancy, and
It is
it's
fun.
really like not,
But
but it
it's
has
so
amazing
good.
flavor.
It's
So
so
obviously
good.
there's heat to
I
it. All of
cannot wait
those
to
there
try
are
these.
some heat. So I hope you like heat.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah.
But yeah, it's just adds. That's probably my favorite out of all of them that we do, just because it adds that smoky flavor.
Well, thank you very much. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm
So thanks for coming.
I'm gonna learn. You know what? I'm even happier that y'all are so close to me.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna intern at
Do
your
it.
at your house
Do it.
from now on.
Sure.
At the Southern Way. Anytime you need help,
Yeah.
you let me know.
All right.
And
Yeah.
I'll be here
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I've learned so much from this experience so far. It's great. Awesome.
That's
So,
good.
We want to see your homestead too.
Absolutely. You're more than welcome to come on anytime. Okay, so we're in the front yard. So excuse the sun. The lighting's not going to be the best, but we are talking about their passive solar and the amount of windows they have on this beautiful house that they had built.
So one thing when we were building the house, we knew that we wanted to do passive solar, and everyone honestly here was like, "You're in South Carolina. You don't need passive solar. That's a complete waste." Well, I am so thankful that we did passive solar.
Yeah.
It is not a complete waste in South Carolina. So essentially, what passive solar is just kind of collecting that heat energy from the sun and allowing that to help heat your house. Now, it does not completely heat the house, but it does help. And so the basics that we use with it is we face the house south. So it collects the sun in the winter time when it's more in the southern hemisphere. In the summertime when it's straight overhead, it's completely shaded. Like the roof shades all the windows. We have shade on the west side of the house, so it never really gets sun, that late sun, especially in the summertime, hitting it. And that's essential. Those are really, I guess, the only things that we implemented. But like I said, it does make a big difference. There's a lot of sun that comes in this time of year.
The shed dormer open so that you can circulate the air through. Another key part of it is being able to circulate that air and that hotter air throughout the house.
And the other benefit is a lot of windows.
Yes.
It's beautiful. I mean,
I
doesn't
love
love
windows.
I love
and
windows.
and that is one way we cheated it. You know, we do have a lot of windows on the north side of the house as well, but that's where we just took advantage of being in South Carolina.
When we move, eventually we build a house. There's two criteria: windows and a big front porch.
Yep.
Or
Yes.
big porch, a
Come here,
wraparound, or she's
Okay.
So that would be
Just
good.
gonna make my
We have a
puppy
friend that
jealous.
like jokingly calls our house the fishbowl because when you're inside of it, it feels like you're in a fishbowl looking out. 'Cause of
now
all the
y'all
windows, but we
y'all
love
also
that.
have wood stove in there too.
Yeah.
Yes. So and that is like more for fun and the fact that we can do it,
Yeah.
honestly. But that is what we use for heat in the winter
Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
and it is very sufficient.
We appreciate y'all hanging out with us today, and we'll catch you in the next one.